Clerk will report a resolution.
House Joint Resolution number 743, agreed to by the House January 30th, agreed to by the Senate January 31st, commending the Honorable Robert W. Goodlatte.
Delegate from Augusta, Delegate Landis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, members of the House, it's really my pleasure and honor today to recognize and for the House to honor Congressman Robert Bob Goodlatte, who's with us. You know, earlier this session, the clerk reported that we adopted House Joint Resolution 743, commending Congressman Goodlatte on his retirement following 26 years of public service as the congressman and my congressman representing Virginia's 6th Congressional District. Bob is the longest-serving member of Congress from the 6th Congressional District, and that's quite an accomplishment. Bob has been a dedicated servant and tireless advocate for residents of Roanoke, Lynchburg, and much of the Shenandoah Valley, which he has represented so well, and Virginians across the Commonwealth. He has been a champion of fiscal conservatism, an ardent proponent of a balanced budget amendment, which, if Washington had, we would all be much better off. And Bob's work in Congress enriched our agriculture communities, enhanced transportation, provided consumer protections in the field of technology, and he made lasting contributions to our civil service reform, to name just a few of his remarkable accomplishments. Mr. Speaker, in my younger days, I had the distinct pleasure of serving as first his district director and then as his district representative in his first term. And I can attest firsthand to his character, his work ethic, and his unwavering commitment to his constituents and the Commonwealth. His retirement leaves a tremendous void in the United States House of Representatives, and now our former colleague, Ben Klein, has tremendous shoes to fill. I know Ben learned and absorbed much from Bob, and I did as well. And now, Mr. Speaker, before we recognize the congressman, I also want to recognize some guests that are in the gallery with us today. And this shows, I think, and demonstrates the support Bob has had over the years from many able staff members, but more importantly, that they took the time today to be here with us. And in the gallery, we have a number of former staff members from the congressman's office, both in the district and in Washington, and I ask that they stand as we recognize Bob. And I'd also say we also have a number of the congressman's staffers, as I mentioned, from Washington and in the district. And it also includes, and I'll name specifically one individual, our current Harrisonburg-Rockingham Clerk of Court, Chaz Haywood. Mr. Speaker, also have members of the congressman's campaign staff, and again, I think it demonstrates their dedication to him and recognizing him today. Now, on the floor, I want to recognize two individuals that are very special to the congressman, Bob's chief of staff, Pete Larkin, and his former Judiciary Committee Director, Shelley Husband, who's here with us as well. So I thank them for being here. And Mr. Speaker, we were going to try to have two members of the Senate, and they still might join us, but Shelley happens to be the daughter of Senator Emmett Hanger, who represents part of the 6th District, obviously, in the Senate, and Senator Suderline was going to be here as well. So, Mr. Speaker, let me just say all of us have individuals that mentor us as we go through this process, whether we start out in the House of Delegates or working in Congress. And I can tell you, Bob Goodlatte was one of my mentors, and I really appreciated that and his guidance. And for all the good or bad, for those of you in the House, he's responsible for much of that, and hopefully more good than bad. So, Mr. Speaker, it's just my real honor to recognize and have the House recognize today, and we hope that this resolution will serve as a recognition of the congressman's dedication and service. There's Senator Hanger. Their roll call must have been a little bit longer than ours. But it's really my pleasure and honor to recognize such a great individual, Bob Goodlatte, who served in Congress, is a friend to many. And I think you can also see all of us that have represented parts of the 6th Congressional District really appreciate his leadership not only for the 6th District, but for the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I neglected to say, he also obviously served as chairman of the House Agriculture Committee. They have 6-year term limits on their committee chairman. We don't want to start that, Mr. Speaker, but and as a committee chairman, I can attest to that. But then also the House Judiciary Committee, where he ended his service in the Congress. So, Mr. Speaker, it's really my hope and would ask the House to recognize Congressman Bob Goodlatte on his 26 years of service to the Commonwealth and the United States of America.
Congressman Goodlatte, I've had the privilege, I think, of knowing you all those 26 years, and you've done an outstanding job. You epitomize a public servant. You certainly rose to great heights with your committee chairmanships. To have so many of your members of your staff is an affirmation about the job that you did. So just our congratulations on the resolution. And I think you had a pretty good guy in Steve Landis. So thanks very much, Congressman.